Certainly know Kiara Keaton's been enjoying herself, chatting to some of the Manchester City backroom staff.
Yeah, Keating had an eventful game earlier against Ajax. They prevailed in the shootout. A reminder, these matches are 30 minutes, 2 halves of 15 minutes each, as Manchester City starting on the front foot here with Fujino and Caroline, 2 of their standout players. And we picked out Jess Park as being somebody we thought was going to have a good tournament as well. She scored earlier on in that crazy, crazy game against Ajax. If you do get a chance to watch it back on DAZN online, on the YouTube channel, honestly, it's so worthwhile. It was just pure drama and pure chaos. Gracie Pryor has been heavily involved in these matches. One of the things I've noticed, Rachel, from standing pitch side is just how tall so many of these players are. Don't always get to see it from a high-angle shot on television. Helen Tullis-Joyce of Manchester United, the goalkeeper, she cannot be only 6 foot. She looks a lot taller than that in real life.
Well, that's what you get from widening the pool of players. Certainly when you look at in women's football in England, we've got more girls and women playing football than ever. And with that, you know, the group of players to choose who move up the pyramid to the elite level, who we see on display today, are the best athletes, the best technicians, the best tactically.
Dalman involved. And Dalman to finish! Linda Dalman on the score sheet again for Bayern Munich, opening the scoring against Manchester City after a lovely move.
Yeah, good intricate play from Bayern Munich. They certainly deserved that. Look, thought Jess Park could have cleared her lines in there, gets tight, gets the chance, but Dalman just sneaks in and toe pokes it home, footstyle style. Just sees that gap, and from such a short in distance, inevitable. 1-0 Germany. It's not strictly Germany, England, but...
You're not talk like that, Rachel. PTSD from previous England results against them, although less so in latter years. No offence, Rach, no offence. Fujino, oh, this is what she does best. Oh, but Fujino, 1-1. What a strike from the Japanese player. Richly rewarded for endeavour and her enterprise.
How many times have we seen a team opens the score and then the counter punch within a minute? This must only be 30 seconds after the restart. Fujino just tick-tackers her way through, jinks and turns and finds the opening, just slots it low and left. Excellent finish. More of this, please. 2 minutes in and 2 goals.
I wonder if anybody's joining us late to this competition. If you are, where have you been? Because this is what it's been like largely. And these are certainly 2 of the best sides in this tournament. 15 minutes each way, 7 aside, and then, if required, it will go to sudden death extra time. Park telling Fujino where she wants her to go. Wanted her to create an angle for her. She needs an option. Trying to find Caroline. She has plenty of company. Caroline has Pryor, the centre half, back there. She's now out of position, but Fujino's covering. Bayern looking to retake the lead. Coombs.
Yeah, the game suits technical players like Fujino and Caroline Park, certainly on the Manchester City team.
Damjanovic. Simon.
Good defending from Wienreuter there. Not seen much of her this tournament so far. So an opportunity for players on the fringe of teams to get some fast and furious minutes under their belts.
I think fast and furious is literally the description of this tournament, which is why it's been so popular so far with viewers, with players. With us lot, I think, enjoying very much working on it. It's not really work, is it, for goodness sake? Fujino taking aim again. Simon getting in the way. Reminder, we have rolling substitutes Simon's off. Maria Plattner, Austrian, coming on again. Chiara Keating, for all her trials and tribulations earlier, she absolutely loved the victory of the penalty shootout, where the goalkeepers got to take a penalty each as well, because it's 5-a-side in sudden death extra time. They have to take 2 players aside off. No more substitutions. More subs for Bayern Munich.
4 on, 4 off.
Park looking for Fujino, slightly overhits it, but here she is. Plenty of movement ahead of her. Ulbrich. Back to Marla Groves. So good to see her in action. The 23-year-old Bayern goalkeeper, having returned to action in March after 4 months out with cancer treatment after the medics discovered a malignant tumour. Dalman, controlled, lays it off. Oh, and what a glorious opportunity for Momoko Tanikawa, who scored earlier on today. And the goal was gaping.
Oh, and it was a beautiful build-up, really good play from Dalman down that right-hand side, cuts it back perfectly. Wasted opportunity.
1-1 it stays. Into the 3rd round of group matches. After this game, Bayern Man City, it is Rosengård against Ajax, 2 sides who are already eliminated. As are Benfica, Roma after that, and then we finish with Manchester United against Paris Saint-Germain.
Just saw a glimpse of Nick Cushion on the sidelines then. He'll have a point to prove against Bayern Munich. He'll be in the Champions League next year. His team obviously not in the Champions League. Pipped to the post by Manchester United. What a game that will be if it ends up being the semi-final.
Yeah, I'd be quite happy to see them, wouldn't we, in action. Reminder, no European football for City next season. They finished 4th in the WSL, 17 points behind the winners Chelsea. 6 years in a row they've won the title. City finishing 5 points behind Arsenal and 1 behind their big rivals Man United. Really disappointing season, having only missed out on the title last season on goal difference after that late capitulation at home to Arsenal, which cost them so dear.
So many injuries for City this season. A lot of players we're not seeing here today because of that. Lauren Hemp coming back from long-term injury, Alex Greenwood, Bunny Shaw, just to name a few key players that they've been without for a lot of the chunk of the season. Vivian Miedemar as well.
Yeah, that's only fair to mention that, because they're huge players. You take them out of any team, and they still have other talented players, but they are key. Alex Greenwood, I think every time we talk about her, we say how underrated she is. So therefore, by definition, she can't be underrated, can she, if we keep saying it?
I think because she was obviously started the World Cup because of the absence of Leah Williamson, but had to bide her time sitting on the bench, didn't she, during the European Championships, the majority of it, because of Leah Williamson and Millie Bright being such a competent duo for England.
But only last minute. It was only changed very last minute when Leah Williamson, less comfortable in midfield, it seemed, and it worked to good effect. Sometimes it works to just be honest with your coach. And what an achievement that was for the Lionesses.
Who did we beat in the final?
Might just have been Germany.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now, one of Bayern got here. That's a corner as they make a triple substitution. It was interesting to see earlier the tactical substitutions when attacking, so the defenders don't get a chance to pick anyone up because they don't even know they're on the field yet.
Well, I was wondering if that was the substitution for the corner, because it wasn't any obvious time gap.
Julia Zigiotti-Ulmer with a goal earlier on. The 4th of 4 against Rosengård.
Good ball from Chiara Keating, Manchester City goalkeeper. Putting it out to Brynhilde Brown.
Now Ravine Reuter. And towards Murphy. Away for Simon. And Damjanovic. What a Bayern got here. Vicious effort from Savistova.
It's a solid effort that. Had Chiara Keating scrambling, ensuring that she covered that post, just dragged wide. Those sort of openings with this calibre of opponent, Manchester City have to just tighten up a little.
Simon. Nice ball from her. Damjanovic looking for Hansen. Brynhilde Brown. The former England goalkeeper, Rachel, what do you make of Chiara Keating and her potential and her journey so far? It's been full of ups and downs, hasn't it?
Well, she was thrown in at the deep end in some ways at a young age with injuries to Ellie Roebuck at Manchester City a couple of years ago, and she barely made a senior team debut at start, and she's grown through that. Yes, ups and downs, absolutely. You know, none of them injuries, but mistakes. There's something you have to get used to as a goalkeeper. It's how you pick yourself up. Got herself into the senior England squad.
Simon with a strike against Oyama's legs.
But certainly, depth of goalkeeping at England at the moment, excellent, with Hannah Hampton and Mary Earps looking like they're going to vie it out for the starting position for this summer's European Championships in Switzerland.
Do you think Hampton's just about ahead at the moment?
I'd say so, with the lineups that Serena Wiegmann has put in.
Oh, well, that's a good tactic. No offside, remember. Lazel away. As far as Fujino, good defending by the youngster. Another couple of substitutions now for Manchester City, with Cody Thomas, the 18-year-old, coming on. So to Maisie Davis, the Welsh 18-year-old. 5 caps to her name already, formerly of Flint Town and Llandudno. Well, with both sides already through, it is an opportunity to give some more minutes to those youngsters who we would hope we'll get to see some action in the WSL next season. Lazel.
Yeah, because the intensity and the speed of thought that's required in this tight, congested pitch is something that these girls, young girls particularly, need to experience. Not had a lot of WSL time. And it's the same for the Bayern Munich players, for those who potentially on the fringes, to be able to come up against and with world-class teammates. It's a great experience.
Zadrazil, the Austrian, vastly experienced player. Damjanovic looking for options. Ivy shirt. So we're into the final minute of the first half.
Good run.
Oh, from Keating, looking for Brynhilde Brown.
Yeah, it was an excellent run from Brynhilde Brown. She got in behind the defender.
A kill from Damjanovic. Damjanovic looking for options. Tanikawa saved by Keating.
Ooh, just dribbled wide, didn't it? It was really good build-up play.
Initially, she got a touch, but she didn't, did she?
No, it just bobbled wide, didn't it?
So that's the end of the first half. The first 15 minutes down, nothing to separate Bayern Munich and Manchester City. Linda Dahlmann and Aoba Fujino on the score sheet. And there'll be full analysis of that first half with Seema and the gang when we come back in just a moment. Ready to get us back underway. Another 15 minutes, and if it's still level after that stage, then we'll go to sudden death, extra time. One of the joyful regulations here is that we have to have a winner for every single game. And here's Dahlmann, cleared off the line. Laura Wienreuter was there.
An excellent little touch from Chiara Keating, but covered brilliantly by Wienreuter.
Bayern come again.
We said that we want Manchester City to finish this game off. Bayern Munich have come out with absolutely the same mentality. So many internationals in their team too. It's a lovely little ball across. Dahlmann at the back post. Chiara Keating, great positioning. Off the director's seats there. Fans in the sunshine.
Really does feel like a festival of football, but it's not a pre-season friendly kind of tournament. Far from it. $5 million in prize money. And the player I was talking to earlier said, like, no one really wants to talk about money, but of course it's a factor. I mean, you wouldn't be putting $5 million into a prize fund if it wasn't supposed to be an enticing factor. And a big section of that pot goes to the players, not just for the clubs to keep, and the staff as well. And it's up to them how they want to split it up between players and staff. I guess it's none of our business, frankly. Dahlmann. It's just one of those differential factors that really sets this tournament apart from everything else.
Yeah, it being the inaugural event, you want some of the best teams in Europe. Oh, our first official yellow card.
Linda Dahlmann getting a yellow card. Was that for not putting her bib on the sideline?
No, it was a little tussle when Fujino went over to the sideline to pick up the ball. It was a little tussle between Dahlmann and her, stopping Fujino play the ball early. That was my interpretation of what I saw.
Oh, and Keating has to get back here.
Yeah, Marmutovic starting the second half in goal for Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich have certainly looked the more likely to score in this opening few minutes of the second half.
The intent is there. It's a good curling ball in. Albrecht got ahead to it. Zigiotti Olma. Bayern again. Oh, what a strike by Julia Zigiotti Olma. That is absolutely sensational from the Swedish midfielder.
We just called it. City have looked on their heels since they've come out in this second half. They've allowed Bayern Munich to have too much space, and this is another example of it. A clever little layoff, a little jink to the side, creates a space for herself, Zigiotti. And a thunderous strike, as we've seen from a similar range a number of times in this tournament so far. Early advantage, Bayern Munich.
Wienreuter now breaking into the Bayern penalty area. Savistova, the pole. Simon. I can see what she was trying to do. Spilled by Keating, but Wienreuter coming to the rescue. What a strike that was by the Sweden international, a former Brighton midfielder.
We've seen a few of those, haven't we, Jackie, though? Juliana for Roma scored 2, very similar, left-footed, but from a similar range. Just opens up. You've got to remember, outside the box is about, what, 14 yards out? Not far.
Simon driving it in. Oh, and saved by Keating. It came at a rate of knots. And she just smashed the ball into the head of Damjanovic. She receives a yellow card for not retreating.
Yeah, for trying to stand in the way of Chiara Keating was the interpretation of the referee. 2 yellow cards, not 1 in the tournament so far.
Oh, well, the one was shown initially to Hansen. It's Caroline, let's fly! Mahmutovic was behind it, the substitute goalkeeper.
Yeah, good positioning, forward stance, so that any rebound, she's straight onto it rather than back on her heels. Good goalkeeping.
Never a dull moment in these matches, that is for sure. We've had very few down moments where we can talk about the weather or if there's anything good on the telly later. Or
ooh, a bit of a clash on the far side there.
It's a painful one as well.
But as we tend to see in this tournament in women's football, just straight back up and on with it.
Plattner. Plattner, the Austrian, will take the corner. And comes down man again.
Just drilled them in low and hard the last few times.
Now Caroline. Oh, this is what she's best at. Caroline slightly overrunning it, allowing Mahmutovic to come out. Good play by the goalkeeper.
Excellent play by her. Really high starting position. Recognises that Caroline's going to beat her player for pace. Good technical goalkeeping down with a K-stop.
Mahmutovic with 1 cap for Germany last year. Played 19 times in all competitions this past season, with Groves being out for that cancer treatment. So good to see her back. Now we're going to... How many substitutions are we going to have here for Manchester City? Goalkeeper as well.
All 7, is that?
Looks like all 7 in one go.
I expect something special.
Eve Annetz has come on. The 19-year-old England under-19 international. No senior appearances for Manchester City as yet. In regular football, we should say. This is her chance now in this crazy, fast, frenetic kind of game. She might get tested here and does really well.
Again, that same technique that Mahmutovic just employed to save at close range. Excellent goalkeeping from Eve Annetz. There, see how she gets down, spreads the arms. Little tiny target, shoot at.
Lozelle bringing the ball away.
This is certainly Manchester City's next gen, isn't it?
Sadrazil finding Tanikawa. Oh. Chaos near the goal line, and City win a free kick with young Eve Annetz
holding her head.
Straight into the thick of the action, and the referee pointing that she's stopping the clock, as you'll see to the top left of your screen. It is paused while we have an injury.
You'll see it's really brave goalkeeping. Oh, and it's crunching in. I think the boot was not the contact point with the head, but the knee that followed through afterwards, I think, was the contact, which is probably more of a concussion concern.
Eve Annetz has literally been on the pitch for a matter of seconds, straight into the thick of the action, making a save immediately. Clearly a super brave young goalkeeper, already receiving praise from Rachel Brown-Finnis.
you've got to be brave. I've lost my 2 front teeth. I can run through as many injuries as you'd like.
You were nuts, you were. Mind you, you're all nuts, you goalkeepers.
You've got to put your head in places where you don't expect to. But this is the lovely little toe pump finish to open the scoring. And this is the response just within a minute, wasn't it? Fujino just skips through, opens up, finds that edge of the space, defends back off, and she slots it through beautifully into the bottom left-hand corner. Man, Bayern Munich gets the second. It's a lovely little layoff for Zigiotti. And what a strike that is from a similar distance for Fujino.
Oh, it's such a shame that Eve Hannes has to come straight off. It really is. She's seeing the funny side, but my goodness. I mean, literally, on in seconds, makes a save.
I think if we get a close-up on her, you can see she's got...
Oh, my goodness. Look at the egg.
It's the knee on her head that's clearly she's not going to be able to continue with that.
Wow.
That is an impressive war wound, that. What did you get when you went to Portugal, Eve? I got an egg on my head.
Brought back an egg. It's not even Easter. My goodness.
I hope she's all right.
Indeed. Oh, and Keating's beaten just seconds after the restart. Bayern Munich score again. Maria Plattner with the third for them.
Manchester City just switched off, didn't they? Weren't quite... Still having a drinks break. Chiara Keating should have got down, should have saved that. She'll know that difficult situation, having just gone off and switched off mentally to come back on. Switched back on. Needed to have done that and didn't. Mountain to climb for City.
City really want to win this tournament. They may still do it, reminded that they are through to the semis already. But this kind of experience, Rachel, where players are having to try to think differently, particularly young players, having to retrain their brain to different types of rules, react to different situations, substitutes being made all the time, having to concentrate the entire time, can only stand them in good stead.
Oh, it's brilliant credit in the bank for football experience, because it's new experience. There's been new experience developing new neural pathways, all part of their learning journey. You see the players that are on the pitch, particularly for Manchester City, just focusing on them at the moment, how young this group of players is that's come on. Evanet's making the briefest of appearances, but great experience for these young players. Eriksson and Sembrant at the back for Bayern Munich, very, very experienced Swedish duo
as well. So much experience in this whole squad of Bayern Munich. Certainly one of the favourites to win this. Slightly stating the obvious, bearing in mind they're already in the last four, but...
Hedging your bets there, Jackie.
Oh, yeah. Eriksson with the long throw, looking for Damjanovic. Lazel is there. Is that a foul, perhaps? Oh. It is from Maisie Davis. And the referee showing another yellow card.
It was definitely a foul. I mean, she caught her on the back of the calves there, you can see. It's just a mistimed tackle. It seems enough to tip that balance in a yellow card, a third of the game.
Simon. Straight to the feet of Lazel. And Yama is fouled, a 20-year-old from Japan.
She's probably the oldest player on the pitch, actually, for Manchester City.
Only made a couple of appearances in all competitions for City, both in the league off the bench, having signed in January from Waseda University in Japan. Oh, a clash there with Fujino and Marmutovic.
It's a great punch from Marmutovic.
Simon thinking ahead. Gracie Pryor. Here's Eriksson.
This is where Chiara Keating's got to organise players in front of her. A lot of youth in the Manchester City team. She's got to be that vocal player, organise them. Bayern Munich is just about seeing out this game.
Fujino, not far away.
And again, Marmutovic did really well, because as soon as Fujino turned after that clever throw-in, when she rolled a player, we'll see it here, Laura Coombs throwing it in, Fujino rolling a player. You see Marmutovic is right up there in her face, making her make a very early decision.
The players are used to not being offside from a throw-in, but they're not used to not being offside at all from open play. Caroline. And a lot quieter in this game than in previous games.
Yeah, heavily strapped leg. I hope that's nothing lingering. It's going to keep her out of tomorrow's games.
I think they wouldn't risk her if that were the case. Damjanovic, a Serbian. Zadrazil.
Only a few seconds left in this game now.
25 seconds remain. It looks as though Manchester City are going to suffer their first defeat of this tournament, having won ultimately their opening 2 games against Rosengård 4-0 and coming through in a penalty shootout after a 2-2 draw against Ajax. Bayern Munich just seconds away from topping Group 1. Heating, and it's all over. The Bayern Munich players celebrate. They have topped Group 1 with a 100% record, beating Ajax, Rosengård, and now Manchester City. And we'll see both of these sides back in the semi-finals tomorrow against Manchester United and Paris Saint-Germain. But who plays who has yet to be decided, as those 2 sides from Group 2